Michael Frankel for CageMinds.com. My guest today, Thomas Soto. First off, Thomas, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. My conditioning's coming along, and I'm doing really great. And I'm looking forward to the fight.
6 days away, Triple A MMA 10 Genesis taking on Andres Quintana. The winner walks away, the first Featherweight champion for Triple A MMA with the first Budweiser belt. What was it like for you getting offered to be in such a big fight?
Oh, that was great. It was really unexpected, first of all, but I am undefeated, so you know, with that record, those opportunities will come along. And but for it to come along so quick, I was really happy about it, especially because I've been gone for so long. I mean, I've been out of the States for like almost 2 years. I was a contractor over there working with the military in Kuwait, and I had a fight out there. It was an exhibition thing against a Russian guy, and you know, it didn't count. Wasn't a record thing. The guy came in. He was like 20 pounds overweight, you know, so it was kind of like that kind of thing. But it was a good fight, and this is the first like professional thing that I've done since that time, and since my last professional fight. So I was really excited about it, thrilled.
So since being out there overseas, was the plan for you always to come back and get right back into your fighting career, or this kind of happened?
No, that's what I wanted to do. It was definitely a motivator, and I thought about it every day. I trained all the time. I was training with the Army out there. They do the Army combative system, and I kind of grew up in that. So I have a lot of friends that were out there. We had a black belt from Ricardo Alameda. We had a black belt brown belt from Helson Gracie. We're doing boxing and kickboxing all the time. So I've been training really good. And those are my old training partners. I meet them in the military, so it's a good deal.
So when was that last fight that you had, that exhibition?
It was in, I think, March of last year.
So still March of last year? It's been a while. Oh, March of this year.
It's been a while. Like March, April. Yeah, it was in March. So it was then, and I've been training since then. I've been training before then,
So training, is there any thought of ring rust? Because there's only, you know, a certain level of aggressiveness that comes with training as to when it's full, all out in a fight.
Yeah, we had to knock a little bit of that off when I started getting ready for this fight, and it was somewhat more than I expected. But I got in there with my coach, Shane Sherman, and he's a Muay Thai guy, right? He lived in Thailand, so I mean, he was really brutal on me. He didn't take it easy on me at all. He threw me in there. I think it was like the second day that I started camp, and we started sparring. You know, we're boxing. We're doing very little ground, but I mean, the ground fight's a lot easier to emulate than the actual like striking. So we got in there. We worked on that. We worked a lot on it, and you know, developed to this point where I really feel like I can get in there and I can beat this guy up for 5 rounds. Like, not that I want. That's not the game plan. But if I have to do that, if I have to get in there and like beat him up for 5 rounds, I know I can. You know, so at least, you know, I'm going in there with that.
You're going in there feeling that way, but you mentioned the game plan isn't that. So you want to share with us any parts of the game plan?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to give away too much, man, but because I don't know if he's going to be listening to this, because it's very particular. I'd kind of just like to leave it more at like, you know, I'm ready to do this, but I do have like skills, and he knows it. He knows that I'm a good grappler. He knows that I've got submission wins and stuff like that. You know, but you know, him knowing that, and me knowing what I have to do, and I'm sure his strengths are striking and stuff like that. You know, I think there's pretty much only one way you can really look at the fight. You know, guy's probably going to try to stand up. You know, if I can beat him in the stand-up game, that's really good. And when you're going to have to go to the ground, it'll be a quick night. But, you know, if we have to take it there to where, you know, we're grinding it out on the ground, you know, I know that, like, I think that I'll have the advantage there anyway.
Does it bode in your advantage that I even went to look you up, and when you look up Thomas Soto online, there's one interview and one maybe round from your second pro fight, and you've had all this time, whereas Andres, he's been on Triple A MMA, and they do have the contract with Go Fight Live, so you can watch it online. He was with Bellator, so you can watch it online. Is that something that bodes in your favor, that we can't find out what you've been up to, and then with that break, no one can see how you improved as to where you can see where Andreas has been?
Oh, yeah, I mean, see, as far as, like, him coming at me with a little bit of video and stuff like that, I mean, I really honestly don't think he's basing my game plan off of that. I think that, you know, that fight, it did show me doing a lot of takedowns. I was doing a lot of judo wrestling takedowns, and, you know, maybe he's, like, expecting something like that. But I really don't. I'm pretty sure he's, like, probably working. His team's probably working everything, but it kind of does play into my advantage if he does think that that's what I'm going to do, and that's all I know. Because I mean, I've been training with these Filipinos, and they're pro Muay Thai fighters for the past couple of years, and then I've had plenty of boxing. I was doing USA boxing before I even started thinking about MMA, so I mean, I've had a lot of that stuff, and there isn't a lot of videos, so yeah, it does kind of play to my favor, because you can't really see what I do. Even if he knows that I do all that stuff, he doesn't know, like, what I'm good at as far as in those individual sports.
Right, and it's one of those things where unless you see it, people have different movements, different styles, you may switch up stances. There's a lot of those things that can't be played for, so I was figuring that would be to your advantage. How much studying and looking at film and stuff have you done of your opponent?
I don't really do that, because, I mean, I looked at it a little bit, but not too much, and this is why it's just that when he gets in there, he's going to do something else. You know, I've never had that experience where, oh, I've seen video and I get in there and this guy, he does something that I've seen. You know, it's usually like, wow, I never even saw him do that. You know, so I don't really rely on the video too much.
And then, this is a big fight. It's the title fight. We know back at Triple A MMA Rock Solid is when the fight was announced, so what kind of camp have you been able to have? How long has it been specifically training for this fight?
Well, first of all, I really honestly had to get in shape for it. Like, I mean, you know, I was in decent shape for, you know, the average guy that, you know, works out and runs and stuff like that. So I had that. And then we take this fight. It was about maybe 6 weeks ago. So, you know, right away I'm starting to go to the gym. I'm doing, like, cardio and stuff like that and conditioning. And it was good. And a little bit of grappling here and there. But after that first maybe a couple of weeks of, like, you know, reintroducing my body to, like, you know, the physicality of, you know, mixed martial arts fight, everything that I had to do and get ready for, we've been hitting it pretty hard. And that's, you know, with the sparring and with the training partners and these guys. I mean, some of them were guys that I actually fought, and they were very good. They were very hard to beat. First of all, I mean, we're in the Southwest. You know, I live in this area. There's only so many guys that you can fight. So I trained with a lot of the guys that you know I had some really tough fights against, and they pushed me. They pushed me hard. We're friends and everything, but you know, one of my old boxing coaches said, "Hey, when you get in there." Yeah, it was a long time ago in Corpus Christi. He said, you don't have any friends in that ring, and it's true.
So now that you're back in it, what does it feel like to have a camp and to be fully back into fight mode? Is there a difference from, like you said, when you were just working out, just doing stuff light? What is it like, the mentality, and for you getting back into the competitive side?
Well, I feel like sometimes I'm just always trying to grab something or gasp for air, so constant, I'm in constant pain for every second that I'm at the gym almost, because we're not going 50%. My coach doesn't let me go 90%. My coach doesn't let me go 100%. He's always pushing me to that breaking point, and it's hard, so I go in there and I have this mentality of when I first started training with them at this camp, we're at Lean Fitness, and these guys are strikers, they're headhunters, they're headbangers, they're those guys, they're going to try to knock you out. And going through all that, it just felt like I was constantly trying to get air, and that's basically, to that level that he was pushing me at. And I can run, I run 5 miles up Trans Mountain. It's 6,000 feet above elevation. And, but this is different, man. It's an MMA fight. It's, it's cutthroat. It's push you to your limit. It's make you get to your breaking point and then some, but that's where we're at. And I had to go into that mentality from, this 50%, coasting through practice kind of thing to really just kind of fighting for my life kind of thing, because Shane's he's prior military. He has special forces training and all that stuff, and he's the real deal, man. So that's where I'm at right now,
So now
kind of grind mode.
It's fight week. What does that mean for you? How do things change? How do you wrap up the camp, and how do you get yourself revved up this week?
I'm losing weight. That's the most important part. That's my focus. I'm in target, but maintaining that is definitely an important part, because I don't want to go in and do this huge 20-pound, 15-pound cut, because it's a 5-round fight. I got to go in. I gotta maintain to where I at the max 10-pound water cut. That's what you want to kind of do when you get closer to those high round fights, those brawls. Because I honestly think that this is going to be one of those fights that it's just going to take a lot to beat this kid, and I'm willing to push it that far. So keeping that mentality is also another important part of it, and then finding times to get away from everything for a little while, and kind of just I'm a big I believe in meditating and putting yourself into the fight, visualization. And it's a technique that I've used a lot for my previous fights. I kind of just put myself there, and I go into really deep meditation. I'm not physically ready, but being able to do that and remain strong, mentally strong, that's going to help me push once my body gets to that breaking point. Because I don't care who you are, you can say, I don't break. That's not true. Everybody has a breaking point. But having that mental strength, and having a military background helps too, but being able to keep yourself in that mindset to where, yeah, you're going to break. Now it's time to operate in that black zone where you can't breathe, where you can't see 2 feet in front of you, where the guy's coming at you and you're going out and you still got to win. That's where I don't want to get there, but that's where I operate from, and sometimes those have been the best times that I've actually that I've won my fights and stuff like that. And there's also a lot of stuff that it's not on record. Like I said, I grew up in the combative system. When I started doing more mixed martial arts stuff, we did 3-day tournaments. We're doing a 6-minute grappling rounds the first day. You have to fight everybody's champion. Then the next day you do pancration. They're 10-minute rounds, and if you make it past those are the semifinals. The finals is a 3-round MMA fight. It's 5 rounds. It's 3 rounds, but it's 5 minute rounds. So keeping my mind there is really important. Of course, going to church and praying, I do that stuff too. Like, I do that every week. So just staying spiritually, mentally, physically balanced going into the fight is going to help out a lot. That's where I do my best work.
So where does the change happen? Is it that you're already in fight mode, or where does it change from staying calm, staying cool, and visualizing it to actually, is there a change when it's, time to warm up and go walk out, hit the curtain, get out there and get in the cage?
Yes, sir, definitely. I'm calm. I'm like totally calm. I might warm up for 10 minutes before the fight, but I'm still like at that like cool, calm, collected stage, and I like to carry it all the way into the fight. And then once I'm in there, I just block everything out except for my coach's voice and him. Like and that's more where it's at, where everything just kind of like it's like everything kind of like goes black, like all the lights turn off, and then all I see is like this guy standing in front of me, and honestly, I just take it second by second, and then if everything's gonna work, man, I'm gonna make it work,
so
and we're come out being the victor.
Is that something you developed through time, being able to block all that out, or is it just when you started competing you noticed it, or is it through the meditation you've been able to do that?
I think a lot of it has been. I didn't have it, because I lost my first cage fight. I won my first ring MMA fight, but when I got in there in that cage, I just went nuts. And I was training with Fernando Yamasaki. Yamasaki, Mario Yamasaki. He's a referee in the UFC and all that. And then Fernando's his brother, and he's the real he'll beat you up, that kind of guy. He's mean. He was mean to me, and every day, he took me out of the jiu-jitsu class, put me in the corner, made me fight these MMA guys, and that's where I carved out my toughness, some of my toughness. Yeah, it was some of the meditation, I developed that later and stuff like that. Once he started doing that to me, and he really taught me how to calm down and relax. Because I didn't understand. I thought it's an MMA fight. I got to go out there and be crazy, right? And that kind of mentality will get you arm barred, it'll get you knocked out, all that stuff. But so I'm spending 3 years under his tutelage, and this guy, his dad was a grandmaster of judo, and he brought judo to Brazil. He was one of those guys that came across, back in the day. And Fernando Yamasaki grows up doing that and learning jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, training with the Gracies in Sao Paulo. And he comes to the States, and he comes with that, mentality that, fight for your life kind of thing, fight for your rent, fight for your food. And I realize a lot of guys are like that here. But, being able to, be around a guy like that, and they're champions, they're judo champions and all that stuff, it helped me to be able to stop doing all that crazy stuff in the cage, really focus on what's important, calm the hell down, and get in there and fight. But that being said, I wouldn't be able to do, to have this much success if I didn't have that spiritual background as well. Because I'm an avid, church goer and stuff like that. I know what we do is pretty brutal and pretty violent and stuff, and sometimes I think about it, but it is a competition, and I am an MMA fighter, and that's what I'm going to do, and I don't see a problem with it.
How was it finding the balance between your spiritual, your mental, your physical? How was that working out?
It's hard because you're fighting, and anybody from this side of the world, most people are Christian, so we're taught not to fight, just turn the other cheek and all that stuff, and you try to keep it as much of a gentleman as you can in training and stuff like that, but sometimes you lose it in practice. You can't help it. And I think being able to calm down, and like and not like, you know, reach that level of anger where you know, I'm gonna do something really bad to this guy right now. You know, I think that like that's like a challenge at times, because you're like, I mean, you're fighting, everybody's gonna get upset sooner or later, you know. But I mean, it helps kind of both ways, and one kind of feeds into the other. You know, like, you know, we fight, but the fight's there, and it's over, and whatever happened happened. But you know, now I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna you know, it's not like you don't got to seek forgiveness after you know, compete in the legal mixed martial arts event. It's a competition, but you know, like, being able to, like, you know, once that's over, being able to have like some type of foundation, like, really really helps, and that, like, that in itself, like, brings enough balance to the whole thing.
And then, speaking about balance, being gentlemanly, had the opportunity to talk to you and Andres several times, and you guys are both very calm, but not so calm was the heated stare down during the fight announcement. So tell us about your thoughts on selling a fight.
Oh, I mean, that was all like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna make sure these guys know I'm here to fight. And man, once I saw Andres, and like, he's got this, like, you know, he's a freaking fighter, man, and he's got it. And when you get in there with somebody like that, man, you cannot help but to get amped up over the fight, because you know, like, you know, it's going to be one of those, like, gut wrenchers. You know, you're going to have to check your guts like 3 or 4 times during the fight. You know, it's going to be, you know, you're going to hit hard. The guy's athletic, he's tough, and you know it's going to be a good fight. So, like, just being there and being like that, and I know where I'm coming from. You know, that brought, like, kind of, like, a lot of joy in me. You know, not that, like, oh, I want to, not the kind of satisfaction that you get when, you know, you beat somebody up that you want to beat up. It's not like that. It's more like, wow, we're really going to have, like, one of those epic battles. It's going to be tough. Like, you know, I was like, first of all, I was, like, you know, concerned about, hey, am I actually ready for a 5-rounder? With the guy that's, you know, been training, like, pretty consistently in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And once I got to that point, it especially happened, I think the 3rd week, not last week, but the week before that, I was like, okay, I'm ready. I can do this. I can fight. Well, you know, that set me off. That made me, like, excited about the fight, and I'm happy to have this opportunity now.
So would you say you're coming in with your confidence at an all-time high?
Yeah, I mean, I can't get any more ready. Like, if any more ready than this is just overkill. And you know, I'm not injured. You know, I'm sore from training, but you know that's going to happen. And you know, it's recovery week. It's, you know, it's getting fight mode week, or however you want to look at it. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to get in here and fight this guy. Like, I'm ready to take it to that, like, I'm ready to take it to, like, that point where we're in there. And I mean, this is, it's going to be like, that's when we're going to be able to tell, like, hey, you know, this is a good fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I've had a lot of fights, and I've had those battles, you know, and, especially in my amateur career, when, you know, I was fighting guys. They were good. They were like college wrestlers. They were like Golden Glove boxers and stuff like that. Like, you know, I know that I can take it to that level now. You know, I'm confident that I could do that. And that's really all I need to know. Everything else, it's been there, man. I've been fighting for 15 years. I mean, I only turned pro like in 2010. And, you know, I was in the military and deploying and stuff like that. So I didn't really get a chance to fight, but I was fighting in Iraq. You know, I fought in Kuwait. I did little tournaments here and there. I was a grappling champion in Kuwait, and they're all training for Abu Dhabi and stuff. So, I mean, you know, like, on the sheets, on the books and stuff like that, you can't find out a lot about me. But, you know, there's a lot of people that I know, like, even internationally, that, like, know that I fight and know what I'm bringing to the table, and know that this isn't going to be easy for him. It's really not. Like, I don't know if he thinks that. I mean, I don't think he does. I don't think, because he seems pretty, like, I don't think his camp does, but there's got to be something in the back of his mind that says, hey, this guy isn't one of us, you know? But that's good for me, because you know what, man? I really honestly think I am, and then some. So we're going to find out. And that's why I'm really happy to take this fight, too.
I'm so excited to see this fight. 5 rounds. I'm expecting warfare. And then what does it mean also for you to have the opportunity? Because I'm figuring your fans, your friends, your family, with you haven't fought overseas, they haven't got to see you fight a lot. And not many promotions. This one does, though. The fight will be live streamed. People will be able to see you and support you even via over the internet. So what's that to you that, you know, you'll be able, your fans, your friends, your family, they will be able to see you fight this time?
I'm excited about it because I have, like, a lot of, you know, just fighting all over. So, you know, I'm happy that the Triple A MMA event is professional enough to be able to have that live stream, and then you go on the website and it's, like, right there. Like, you know, you can stream it. Not a lot of promotions do that. So, like, a lot of people, you know, especially, like, my fans and stuff like that, they can't really see me fight. You know, they, like, see pictures and stuff like that, and I talk about it. But, you know, I'm getting a lot of inboxes and stuff like that. People saying, hey, man, I'm going to watch you fight. You know, I got friends overseas. I got friends in the Middle East. My brother, they're trying to watch it. He's out in the Arabian Sea. You know, he's in the Navy. So, you know, I got a lot of people out there that are really going to, like, enjoy the opportunity to be able to get on the internet, stream it, and watch it. Because, you know, the internet's everywhere now. So it's a good thing, man. I'm really happy about that. I think it's the first time that's happened to me. So
that's awesome to hear. Wanted to give you another minute to let you shout out and thank who's been helping you through this time.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the gym, especially, you know, Lean Mean Fitness and Oscar De La Plata and Shane, Coach Shane out here in El Paso. It's definitely, like, the hardest, like, you know, hitting gym in this city. And if anybody, you know, wants to get to that professional level, have that level of training, like, that's the place to go. That's how I feel about it. And other than that, my mom, my dad, and my wife, we just had a newborn, so he's like 7 days old. So, you know, that'll give me that extra push that I actually needed. But either way, you know, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about her, you know, supporting me through this fight venture, and it's not easy. Anybody that fights is not. So it's pretty much it. My brother, you know, my brother overseas, my brother here helping me out, and that's it. You know, I got to go sing soon here and get ready for church, and, you know, I sing the choir out here. So, you know, I'm happy about that. You know, it's I really have a good feeling about this fight. You know, and you're right, man. I really do feel I sense warfare. I sense that this is gonna be one of those fights, man. But, you know, I don't think anybody's gonna want to miss it, especially if you like good technical MMA and stuff like that. I know he's got. I know that camp. You know, I know that everybody knows Albuquerque and everybody that trains there. They're going to come in bringing some good technique. But I just want to be able to say that, you know, through the years and stuff like that, you know, Yamasaki's, Helson Gracie's and all that stuff, and you know, all the striking boxing coaches from out in DC and those little, like, you know, Spanish type areas. So, somewhere, I mean, there's really nice places in Cuba, but, like, you know, that's where I learned boxing, you know, like, and those same types of places in Corpus Christi, you know, like, you know, everything's all that training, the judo, you know, it's gonna show, man. It's really gonna show. It's gonna be a good fight.
Thank you for the time. It was great getting to know you, and I can't wait to see you in action next week. It's on the 8th, everyone, November 8th, the McCarran Event Center, Go Fight Live TV, Triple A MMA 10, Genesis. We have a title fight, and it's gonna be war.